If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute.
Many children healed. We've seen midgets grow. We've seen arms and legs that stop growing because the growth cells have stopped. Manda basata. I don't make this stuff up.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare.
That's the power of the Holy Ghost!
Why do they teach every other theory in science except creation?
Warlocks are enemies of God.
No one's ever going to convince me that the Word of God is not true.
You know, if you put Jesus Christ first, that he'll look after all your bills.
And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal.
And if you want to tell me how to live my life, it better line up with the Word of God or shut your mouth.
I'm loaded. I'm pregnant with miracles.
What do you believe?
Send us the cash.
Welcome to the Bible Dumb Podcast. This is the podcast where two atheists read the Bible aloud from Genesis to Revelation. I am your host, Davey Hell.
And I am Jesse Hell.
And as always, special thanks to executive producer Terry Lynn Bradford. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
And yeah, jumping into it. So it's been a week.
It has been a week.
It has.
I've had an exciting week.
You have? Why is that?
I have a story.
Oh, you have a confession?
I have a confession.
Oh, you want to do it right away?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Confession time, everybody.
All right, so I am rereading 11/22/63 by Stephen King.
Love that book.
Love the book. Yes. And I did not remember this the first time. I probably did not pay attention because I was not familiar with the story. But now reading it the second time, he brings up the story of Ham looking at Noah's ding dong.
What?
It comes up several times.
Several times?
Yeah. Once he gets to Dallas, he's apartment looking.
The main
Or
character?
apartment hunting. The main character.
Mm.
And the first apartment he looks at, the character does not like Dallas. It's not a good first impression.
Mm.
And the first apartment landlord that he meets brings up the story of Canaan and to justify why black people do not deserve rights and why they
What?
should be slaves and how that was their punishment.
What do those two... I don't think it ever mentions skin color in
It does
any of
not.
these stories
It does
so
not.
far.
A little bit later in the story, so I'm not all the way through. I'm about 60% the way through the book right now. And then several chapters later, he brings it up again, the main character, and talking with somebody else, and they like, just as like narration note, the character discusses how the two other brothers, Ham's two other brothers,
Shem and Japheth?
yes, apparently one was white and one was Arab, and then I guess that left the last one African.
So just confirming that the author of the Bible does not understand genetics.
Sure, yeah.
Moses?
So I guess that's, maybe we get to it later. Maybe it explains it more later, but yeah,
I don't
apparently
think
that's...
so. That's
That's
got to
the
be
thing.
like what you were talking about when we were talking about the Tower of Babel. People just taking random ass bullshit from the Bible to confirm their already previously held prejudices.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
So his character kind of talks about that a lot and just how messed up Dallas is for so many people believing that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, good story time. I love that
Yes,
book.
Love the book. Highly recommended. 5 stars.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Second renaissance of Stephen King.
Gunslinger number 1?
Oh, I just meant like, I mean, I guess there's like, people think of Stephen King as like, there's old Stephen King, like
Oh.
Shining, The Stand, all that stuff. And
Oh,
then there's
okay.
like new Stephen King where he just like, Under the Dome, 11/22/63, Lisi's story. Like he just came out with like all of these like awesome books, like in
Okay.
the 2010s.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, great books.
Yes. Great book.
That one especially.
Yes.
Maybe one of his best. Maybe his best.
My favorite.
Yeah, it's great. All right. So speaking of great books,
Nice segue.
thank you. Would you like to read on?
Yes.
Oh,
Wait,
did
where
we
did
talk?
we leave off?
Well, okay. So last time we read about Abram,
Oh, yes. Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale. Amazing story. Loved it.
Best story yet.
Best one yet.
Lots of detail,
soap
lots of
opera
drama.
levels of drama.
Yeah.
Sarai was barren. She's
AKA
got-
Serena.
AKA Serena. She's barren. She wants a kid. So she says, hey, Abram, why don't you sleep with the maid? Maid gets pregnant. She immediately gets jealous and kicks her out.
Sarai she's trouble.
She's trouble. And then, so Hagar, the handmaid,
Yes.
she's going to have Ishmael, the
Oh,
wild
that's right.
man.
Ishmael. Oh, yes. Wild.
Wild
guy.
man.
Yeah.
So I think that's about where we left off. She went back to Abram and Sarai and said, okay, I'm going to be your handmaid, whatever.
Predictions, we're going to go to a whole different direction. Completely new story.
Yeah, probably.
Forget those characters. New ones.
Well, at the top of my Bible, there are some handy, like, little notes that tell us what stories we're about to read. And this one's going to get wild.
Okay.
It's going to get, and not,
What do your notes say? Can you tell me?
no, I can't tell you.
Oh,
This one you want to get in story. I just want your reaction. Because I remember this part from when I listened to it on audiobook.
Oh.
So I got at least this far before I
Okay.
gave
I
up.
don't think you've discussed this.
And well, when I did listen to it, I remember very clearly a state of incoherent disbelief. I wandered around the streets.
You listened to the Bible as read by James Earl Jones,
That's
right?
right. Yeah. And then I remember this chapter specifically being insane
Okay.
and
I'm
leaving
excited.
me in a stupor of disbelief. I just couldn't believe what I was reading. Okay, so I'm excited. Let's get into it. Chapter 17. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me, and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For we called it. It is him.
See, I've been sitting here going, not Abraham, not Abraham, not
know.
Abraham, in
I
my
know.
mind over and over. And
I know. I kept giving you
Surprise.
shit last time. Every time you'd say Abraham, I'm saying, no, Abraham.
I'm like, keep it straight. Abram, not Abraham.
It's him. So
Dang it.
same old shit.
Okay.
You're gonna be great. I love you. I'm gonna let you have lots of kids. You're perfect. God has
Picking
just got
favorites.
a fucking crush on Abram.
Mm-hmm.
Gives him a new name. You're Abraham now.
Every time he picks a favorite, he picks a rotten child too. So that's coming.
You thought Noah was Noah was the only other favorite, right? I mean, Adam.
The other, Abel.
Abel was a favorite. Oh, why did Abel go rotten?
Or
Abel got killed.
no, yeah, Abel was the favorite, and Cain was
Cain killed him.
the rotten one.
Yeah.
Every time he picks a favorite, there's one
Oh,
that's a
okay.
bad guy.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. A father of many nations have I made thee, and I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And we never got the bowel baby, by the way. I mean, I'm guessing just bowels is the same as loins,
They
you
don't
know. But I was really expecting a shit baby.
They don't know. They never took biology.
I guess they just meant loins. All right. Anyway, back to God. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. Okay, that was the most repetitive sentences I've ever read.
I feel like we lost a lot of backstory on this whole Canaan has all these lands thing.
Well, he's just, he said the same thing in the last chapters where he said, all right, hey, Abram, your rock, I'm giving Canaan's lands to you.
Yeah, I thought.
Or the lands of Canaan. Canaan's got to be long dead by now.
Is he? They're living to like, what are they living to like 400 years now?
Oh, I don't know. I can't keep
Yeah,
up
we're
with
about
that.
to have like 400 years.
Yeah, I can't keep up with who's alive or dead, I guess. But it's been several generations since Canaan.
Maybe.
This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised.
Uh-oh.
And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. Cut off your dicks, bro.
Oh my god. Why?
It doesn't say why. He just says, he says, you guys are great. I'm going to make us a covenant. Why don't you go ahead and cut off the tip of your dick?
No.
You and everybody after you. Just do it. Just like,
okay.
What? What?
Wow.
And we get specifics here, I guess. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed.
Wait, what?
He says circumcise your fucking slaves too.
Read that part again.
Okay. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man-child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. So just say, cut
whether
all
you're
the dicks.
whether you're a true born son or a slave or a bastard son.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting circumcised.
Everybody's getting
at 8 days old.
Yeah.
Which I think most of the time it's younger than that now. It's like when you leave the hospital usually.
Yeah, and there's lots of issues sometimes lasting issues.
I've seen it.
Yeah?
I've seen a little baby that almost lost his ding dong.
Ugh. So what is the difference between this and like female genital mutilation in other places? It's all just old religious bullshit.
They
like,
do.
Why the fuck are you cutting up genitals all the time?
I mean, I haven't done the research, but
Let's see, this is why we needed Steve.
yes.
Because I've heard before that like
You can increase your
it's
risk
harder
of
to clean
cancer. It's
if
harder
you
to
have a
clean.
foreskin.
I believe
But
cancer. I don't know. Or
Whatever, it's hard to. It can't
maybe
be
it's
any harder than
STDs.
like cleaning behind your ears. Like you just got to do it. You gotta clean yourself. It's just what you got to do. You don't have to cut off your body.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm no expert.
I don't know how truly
because
dangerous it is to. I mean, I know
don't
there
know.
are plenty
It
of.
seems like if this is the reason why people are doing it, it seems like a stupid fucking reason.
So it seems that only Jewish people and Christian people still circumcise, like Hispanic populations, Catholic populations. They usually are uncircumcised.
I don't know. No clue.
Most Hispanic boys are not circumcised.
Oh. Haven't seen many Hispanic ding-dongs in my time. But I mean, good on you. I'm against it. I'm against it. I don't like it. I think it's stupid.
As the kids are saying now, nar.
Nar?
I think that's what they're saying.
Okay.
So to know, nar.
Let's find out a little bit more about this lovely tradition. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people.
Goodness.
He hath broken my covenant.
That is dramatic.
I know.
Very controlling.
It's like if you, it's insanity to me. Like,
There has to be a reason. There
mean-
has to be a reason that they wanted to do this for health reasons or whatever. I'm sure STDs. It's got to be STDs.
maybe, or was it just like a cult rite of initiation to separate yourself from those around you? Like,
I mean,
cults do lots of weird stuff.
yeah. Maybe I'm
Like,
giving them too much
that's
credit.
pretty.
I don't know.
That's pretty extreme, though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was some kind of like, lots of people died of dick diseases.
I mean, when you think of mythology, when you think of like things that they did or things they said or things they believed, most of the time it had to do with like how, teaching people a certain lesson
Yeah.
or keeping the public safe.
Yeah.
So they're going to throw this story in because they think, I don't know. I'm sure they've noticed,
Well, God said
the
to
same
do it,
with
but
washing your hands didn't spread disease. Maybe they noticed a lot. Maybe a lot of men
somebody
were
accidentally
getting
cut his
STDs.
foreskin off and he didn't die of dick rot.
Or maybe that they had. I don't know. I have no idea,
I
but
don't know.
it has to be.
We'll have
something like
Steve
that.
on next podcast, and he'll give us an
I'm
update
sure he probably knows.
on some circumcision facts. He's a nurse as well. ER nurse. I think he's seen plenty of uncircumcised dongs in his line of work. And God said unto Abraham, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name.
Sarah.
This is giving everybody new names. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Sarah.
I always find it interesting when, like, I meet people who have biblical names, and
Like Gomer.
and you think like, I wonder why their parent chose that name.
Oh, I know somebody whose kids' names were Adam and Noah, and she said that's because they both started the world. Adam the first time and Noah the second time around.
She just want lots of grandkids.
I guess. I don't know.
Weird.
That's a thing, I guess. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. So why go through all the crap with Hagar?
That happened in Handmaid's Tale, though.
Oh, you're right. Serena. Oh,
Serena.
spoilers.
Oh, yeah. It's been how long?
I guess like one season. It was last season. Anyway, big time spoilers.
No, she got pregnant like the season before.
Okay.
We know for sure.
Oh. Well, Handmaid's Tale's good. Just go watch it. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear?
Could you imagine?
Dude, Adam and Eve were having kids at like 160. They were all having kids as old people. It's fine, dude.
All right, what does it say?
Come on, Abraham.
What did it say?
It said, A child shall be born unto him that is 100 years old. So I guess Abraham's 100 years old and Sarah is 90 years old. And he's like, say what? And Abraham said unto God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. All right. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold.
Whoa, wait. Is this where like the Duggars get we're going to use all J names? They're using all I names.
Oh, I think there's plenty of J names coming up.
Oh, okay.
That's my...
No, like this, the families that like
Yeah.
pick one letter and then they name all their kids the same.
Yeah. And as for Ishmael, I'm going to go with Ishmael.
Yeah.
I'm making it 3 syllables. I'm going to make it 2 syllables. As for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. So, I mean, I just don't understand why they did all this stuff with Hagar and having Ishmael, and if he's just going to, like, have Sarah have a baby now.
I don't know.
God is flighty. God is unpredictable.
Yes.
And Abraham took Ishmael, his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money,
Oh,
every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day, as God had said unto him. Can you imagine? This dude just decides one day, all right, everybody, gather around.
So is he doing all the adults too?
Everybody, the adults, the kids.
Or is it just from now on at 8 days old? Anybody
No, he
born
says
after
every male among the men of Abraham's house.
Okay, well,
He
God,
gathers them all up and says, this is what we're doing now.
But like the old guys, like they're getting it done, or just
I guess
their
so.
kids when they're 8 years old.
I mean, I guess they're getting it done. Sounds like they're getting it done. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. So it's just rubbing it in. He's 99 years old and he's having to do this bullshit. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old. That's a big gap.
How did he? Okay,
I
that was a time jump there.
I guess he
didn't
was having
realize he
kids at 86. He was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son, and all the men of his house, born in the house, and bought with money of the stranger, were
So
circumcised
weird.
with him. This is really hitting home that he's
The money.
circumcising his slaves too.
Yes, that's weird. I mean, I guess it's not. I mean,
Not
there
a
was
fan of any of this.
no. It's gross.
It's gross. It's stupid. I don't get it. I don't understand why they're doing it.
How can you? How can you?
And we're still doing it. And this is why. This is where it all comes from. This one stupid chapter in Genesis.
That's gross.
And it just keeps on going. Keeps on going.
They're clearly talking about
Just-
slaves. It's gross.
Oh, yeah,
How
for
d-
sure.
How do you listen to this
It's-
and not have a problem with it? It's okay.
man, I guess you just close your ears to it and you just move on. Pick out the pieces that you want.
And then you think all rules and laws and society should be built off this book that talks about slaves.
Guess so. That's the end of chapter 17. So, big events there.
Huge decrees.
Yeah, big decrees coming down from God. And everybody's pretty cool with it. Everybody's just like, okay, whatever. I bet they weren't cool with it.
I bet they were not cool with it. There was definitely some conversations behind closed doors where they're like, dude, we doing this? We're really doing this?
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
They didn't have any choice in the matter. There's no getting out of it. All right, chapter 18.
Could you imagine, though, a time in history where the church came down, or like government or whoever it was, like made the decision that this needed to be done, whether for health concerns or for religious concerns or whatever?
We can't even get people to get vaccinated. We're not getting people to cut off the tips of their dicks.
But like, could you imagine? That's so weird. That's so weird to think, to live through a moment in time like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is a new trend. This is what we're doing.
But it's obvious the only people that are doing it are like his children, which are under his power, and the people he bought with money are under his power.
Yeah, I bet those Egyptians aren't doing it.
I know, probably not.
No.
I don't think
That
Pharaoh's not
Pharaoh
doing
was like,
it.
get the hell out of here.
All right. I have no idea what's coming next. So, chapter 18. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran into...
These are the 3 wise men?
No.
But it's 3 men.
It's 3 men. The wise men are like Jesus' story.
That'd
That's
be
like
way
way later.
Not the same 3 men?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe.
Unless there's time machines.
Maybe foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. Yeah, probably just retelling. Recycling. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man. And he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. This sounds like it's all over again. Like, where's your hot wife, Sarah? I mean, it's already been established that she's a good-looking woman.
Yeah, it did.
And they're like, we heard you had a wife named Sarah. Where's she at?
Who are these? He doesn't know who these men are.
No, they're just 3 dudes, and he just like, I don't know.
That's weird.
It said the Lord appeared to him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And when he looked up, 3 men stood by him.
Okay.
So he just like looked up, and these 3 guys are just like standing there. So
I don't trust
Are they
them.
supposed to be like angels, or are they supposed to be the
I
Lord?
don't know. This is why you have to have.
Like he's running around to like really treat them well. He's like, quick, bake some bread. Slaughter a calf, quick.
Sounds like he's fallen for a scam.
Maybe. When he said, Well, where is Sarah? Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, and well stricken with age. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women.
Are they saying she's gone
like in
through
menopause? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. So
It must be.
Yeah, it must be. All right.
So Isaac's already been born, right?
So are these 3 people the Lord? Are they God? This is really strange.
Is this like the Son, the something, and the Holy Spirit thing?
I don't think so. I don't think that's till later either.
Has Isaac been born yet?
No.
Okay, so
I don't think so. This is them, I think, saying like, hey, you're going to have another son. Sarah is going to be Isaac. And then now Sarah's just finding out. But they're already old.
Dude.
You're
going to be 100 years old chasing a toddler around. That's going to be fun.
Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child, which I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. So Sarah laughed and said, I'm not having a kid. That's stupid. I'm old. And God got mad and said,
We don't care what you want. You're having a boy.
Yeah. He said, I can't do it. Too bad.
Wow.
Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh.
Oh, that is so weird. So petty.
Very petty. And the men rose up from thence and looked.
So insecure. No, I didn't laugh at you. You did laugh
You
at
did
me.
and laughed at me. I'm going to make you pregnant. And the men rose up from thence and looked toward Sodom. And Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do?
That's so weird.
That's creepy.
What thing?
I guess
Where you're an asshole?
making Sarah pregnant? Is this like Virgin Mary level stuff? Is he going to go fuck Sarah?
I think he's going to pull tricks. He's going to put a curse on somebody. He's going to... I don't know.
But Abraham already knows that he's going to do it. He already told him, right? So what's he going to hide from him?
I don't know. What does he do?
I don't know. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him? For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. And the Lord said, Because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence and went toward Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before the Lord. And Abraham drew near and said, Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee? Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the Lord said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes.
You better, because after the flood, you said, Oops-a-daisy. I did bad. I won't do that again.
And you put your bow in the sky and said, I promise I will never do it again.
I promise.
And Abraham answered and said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure, there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 45, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again, and said, peradventure there shall be 40 found there.
Oh my God. Okay.
And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, Oh, let not the...
35.
Yeah.
Does this keep going? How
I
long
mean, it's
does
a whole
this keep-
fucking city. Surely there's more than fucking 40
I'm sure there's
children.
better than 35 people.
What, good people?
Or there's more
righteous
than
people?
35 good people.
Well, there's got to be more than 35 children.
Yeah.
Hey.
This is okay, keep going.
And he said unto him, O let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure there shall be 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak upon the Lord. Peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said,
Well, at least we skipped
I will
10.
not destroy it for 20's sake. Yeah, well, now we've gone to 10s. This is
Yeah.
like Sesame Street.
I feel like we could have used an editor here.
Oh, yeah. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak
5.
yet but this once.
5.
Peradventure 10 shall be found
Oh
there.
yeah, we were 20 last time.
Yeah. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way.
1.
Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham,
Oh, that's it.
And
10. We got to
Abraham-
do 10.
returned unto his place.
Ooh, can we find 10?
What do you think? We're
Oh,
gonna
I
do
don't
some
know.
prediction
I
time.
don't
Do you think
know.
that you think
We
there's
gotta
10
find
righteous
10?
people in Sodom?
So they just have to be like honest people.
I guess so, yeah.
I bet we don't.
You think Sodom's
I think
doomed?
we don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they already spoiled this earlier.
They
said
did.
that Sodom and Gomorrah get destroyed.
I mean, I think there probably are more than 10 good people, righteous people, but they're going to find fault somewhere. They're going to make up some rule and be like, oh no.
Oh, you didn't cut your dick off.
Yeah.
Gotta kill you. Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know about this one.
That was lame.
That was lame. So,
Why don't you just start with 10? Why'd you got to go through the whole number?
yeah. Well,
That feels like when, your teacher says write a full page on this and you just got to fluff up the lines to fill up the whole page,
yeah.
That's what that felt like.
I think so too. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. And that's the end of chapter 18.
All right.
So I think we'll leave off probably and do the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah next time. 'Cause that sounds like a cool story.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes. I definitely recognize it. Is it going to be a long story or is it going to be super short like the Babel story?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like it'll be a longer one,
Okay.
but who knows? But I think we'll try to get our first guest star. We'll try to get Steve on here.
Definitely.
Hopefully he'll be available. And we can ask him about circumcision. Maybe he can clear up some stuff for us that we don't know about it.
Maybe.
I want to know, like, why people do it. It can't just be from this one chapter.
Well, now it's just tradition,
Yeah.
And there's so many health, people make the claims that it's for health benefits.
Yeah.
I don't know how true those claims are.
Yeah, me either. So I'll close up the old Bible. We got a Coffee Jesus here. Coffee Jesus bookmark. Maybe we should tell the story of Coffee Jesus real quick.
Sure.
So what Coffee Jesus is it's a little like 3x4, looks almost like a baseball card of a picture of Jesus. And he was, I mean, do you want to tell the story?
I wasn't even there when you got him.
Okay, so
Well, where I first saw him was I was getting ready for work, and you were fantastic and would always go get me coffee and before I went to work, and I walked into the kitchen and there was the coffee sitting there and then a little picture of Jesus that said, What does it say?
It says, "Here is your coffee, my child."
I was like,
Yeah, I drew like a word bubble on it
Okay.
so that Jesus is, he's coming out of the tomb. It looks like there's a square hole and a big round door. I don't know why the door is round, but whatever. And he's gesturing with his hand so that you can see
it's a
the
classic
stigmata.
Jesus picture.
Yeah, classic Jesus picture. And so I drew a little word bubble. It says, "Here's your coffee, my child." But the story behind Coffee Jesus is pretty funny. So I was out in our front yard with a bow staff working
like a psycho.
working on a kata like in the neighborhood. Because I was going to do a karate tournament coming up, and I've been working on this bow staff kata. So I was outside, like, spinning it all around, and two, like, sweet little Mormon boys rode up and were like, "Cool. Cool moves, dude. You want to hear about Jesus?" And I said, "Not really. I'm kind of working on my bow staff thing right now."
And see, you're kind of like Abraham in that way, in which your face says, "Yes, strangers, come talk to me." Whereas
Yeah.
if I had been sitting out in the front yard, they definitely wouldn't have stopped. They would have kept going. I would have given them the
Yeah.
eyes, and they would have kept going.
Yeah, well, they came over and they said, "Hey, cool moves, dude. I like your bow staff." And they talked to me for a little bit, and they gave me their picture of Bible Jesus just in case I would come around. I said, "Oh, I'm not really interested. I'm not religious. Just working on my moves."
Oh, my moves.
And they were nice. They gave me the picture and wrote on. But ever since, Coffee Jesus has been a staple in our household. He's been there every day that I've made you coffee to let you know that it's ready. You see Coffee Jesus out, you're like, "Yay!"
Yay, coffee's ready.
And he is now another special place of honor. He's our bookmark. So, pretty fun. Lots of good Jesus here. I am circumcised. If anybody was wondering. Just go ahead and put that there. And so, I can make my way into the kingdom of God. No worries. I may have other issues getting there, but that's not one of them.
That one holding you back.
That one's not one of them. All right, so I'm closing the Bible. We're looking on watercolor Jesus. Goodbye, Jesus.
Goodbye, Jesus.
Bye,
Stay dumb.
dummies.